Toilets, welcome to RPG Division. This is a review of the game called Unrest, an indie RPG game, classical RPG game that has been crowdfunded through Kickstarter. It had a goal of $3,000 and it reached the final stretch of $36,000, so pretty good. Let's talk about the game. This game revolves around 5 characters in times of social upheaval in India. 2 kingdoms, Naga and Human, have decided to make a trade agreement that would save the Human kingdom, and that's when all the trouble starts. This game can be easily explained as an Indian telenovela, only it's not about law but politics. Gameplay consists of exploring the areas and talking to people. Conversations are the main thing in this game. Your conversation decisions will make an impact on how the next set of events will play out. There is no fighting, leveling or similar RPG things. You only get traits that define your character from your decision making. Let's jump immediately to positives about the game. Biggest positive about the game is that there are lots of conversation choices and lots of plots. Whatever you choose in one conversation with an important character, it will affect the plot further on, and it will affect also the other characters you controlled before or that you will control in the future. So when the story unfolds at the end, it will all be connected and it will all make sense what you've chosen that affected all the other characters and the story and the plot and so on. That is definitely the thing that they've succeeded in. They wanted to make a game focused solely on conversation, story, and the different types of endings and different types of situations that you can affect. And I gotta say that they did a great job regarding that aspect of the game. Second positive thing about the game is definitely an engaging story. Without the good story, these all conversation choices and different types of endings, different types of plots, different types of characters would make no sense whatsoever. The story is a political one and tells the struggles of a human kingdom that is forced to cooperate with Naga kingdom, who they don't like at all. To every character there is a backstory of some kind, and you will learn all of their character traits and everything by simply talking to other people in the game. Third positive about the game is that it has a high replay value. You will play the game 2 or 3 times just in order to get different types of endings and different types of situations that you missed in the previous one because of your other choices. For example, in one I've actually decided to kill a character by refusing to marry a certain person. In the other one you marry and do something else, so you'll want to explore all of these options. Let's talk about the negatives now. The biggest negative about the game is that it's focused solely on conversation and nothing more. And the story, of course. The problem with this system is that it lacks diversity. For example, in other RPGs you have fights, you have leveling, you have exploration, whatnot, finding items, but in this one you have only story and conversations. That's it. Nothing more. I know the game primary focus is on that, but it simply fails to interest you long enough for you to be able to say that this game is amazing. I mean, you will finish it 1 or 2, 3 times. The story is about an hour and a half long, something like that, maybe even less. And that's it. You'll never talk about this game again, because it didn't have any kind of element. It's simply story and conversation, nothing more. And that is the biggest problem. It's a very brave choice of the developers that they decided to do this, and I say that most of today's RPGs would be lucky to have this kind of plot choices, characters, backstory and so on. But overall it fails to be such an interesting game that it could be if it had other elements as well. Second negative thing that is not that relevant at all, but I need to mention it, is that the graphics are subpar. I mean, you have today's two-dimensional isometric graphics that I personally love to see in games, but these ones are really bad. They fail to bring life to this world, and I think if the graphics were a bit better, players would be more engaged in this world that you're living. My final score for this game is 6 out of 10. RPGs are famous for their diversity. You talk to people, you do quests, you explore, you do lots of stuff. This RPG is focused only on conversation, decision making and story. Without other aspects, it fails to be as interesting as it could have been if developers decided to add a couple of more elements. I know it's a Kickstarter project, they didn't have lots of funds to do all of that, but I'm just saying that with this kind of system that they created, which is a good system, a good story and plot and decision making system, it would be so much better if it had other elements as well. Graphics are not that important to me, even with these types of graphics it could work as well, but without other elements this game fails to be anything more but an interesting couple of hours of your time, and that's it. You will not remember the characters, you will not remember anything else. In a couple of months you probably forget about this game in general because it failed to deliver on other aspects. Simply doing one thing over and over and over again becomes monotone quickly. Thank you guys for watching, I hope that you liked this review. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe. If you dislike it, please tell me why do you dislike it. And I'm going to see you in one of the next videos.